Yo, today I'm playing as Russia in the new 1.9 Charters of Commerce update. As you might know, corn laws has been mega nerfed, and it no longer gives AU a market liberal landowner. It now gives you a market liberal petite bourgeoisie, which is of course significantly worse for two main reasons. One, they have much lower clout. This is the obvious reason. But the less obvious reason is that it means that they're still going to be giving you a stall chance, whereas if the PB disapproved of this law, then it would be more significant because then you would remove them from stalling and add it to success, but you're just getting the success, so it's significantly less of a boost. But I have found a replacement, and that is committing to a law enactment via a treaty. This gives you a 25% enactment success chance, and there's basically no downside. Actually, I think it gives you minus approval on your interest groups, but it's pretty easy. We've got very good diplomacy with Prussia at the start of the game, so we'll just commit to passing that with Prussia. It costs you a little bit of acceptance, but our diplomacy starts so good that we can get it anyway. Also, Russia starts with corporate charters now because they have the Russian American company at the start of the game. So that's a pretty significant buff to Russia. I'm going to start out by researching empiricism for that wealth-based education access, and the maneuvers and stuff is somewhat useful, but mostly the education access. Then we'll go into Atmo engine and railways as always. Now I'm going to spam a ton of social mobility decrees because these will make it significantly higher, make our literacy significantly better. Or let's not do one in perm, that's kind of a waste. But these are going to be the main states we want to build up, I think. Also, maybe Warsaw. Warsaw is a really good state. I'm going to start incorporating it day one. And as soon as this is done incorporated, we want to disestablish the Russian American company and replace it with Lil Papa Rao & Co., which is a really good company for us. It has refined steel as a prestige good, and it has these three industries, and it has motor industries as a expanded industry with the industry rights charter, so it's super good. We're definitely going to be taking advantage of that. There's I think the company in Belgium is better because it got something, I forget what it got, but it got a really good extension, I think, or something. So it's really good. But Russia is still super good. We're going to go max taxes. I don't know why, but it seems like max taxes are much less radical intensive to run this patch. I'm going to go up on construction. Also, we're going to be going for the Suez Canal in this run because that is way better. Actually, I should be doing like 5 construction sectors per state because we've got a lot of states to build up in. That should be good. But yeah, my first goal is going to be to go for the Suez Canal because it's insane. It gives an extra company slot, so effectively doesn't cost a company slot. It gives plus 25% trade advantage, and it gives 50,000 income. And, you know, unlike before, the prosperity bonus is like actually achievable. So that's going to be really nice. Just going to go for an invasion here. I have one army trying to defend over there, and the rest are just going to go over there. And now, normally you'd add like war ups here, but that now costs infamy, so I don't think it's worth it. Um, we're hoping that peasant movement will spawn soon. And oh, I forgot we're gonna put our interest in Nile. It doesn't really matter that we lost 5 days. I don't even know if that's gonna be a weak tick, a single weak tick, which you know is like 0.1 infamy. I'll put interest in South China, I guess. The South America interests are so we can go for like Bolivia and stuff. They're nice protectorates to increase mandate growth. I'm going to be trying to call in Austria because they'll make this war a little bit easier. We don't really care about an obligation with Austria. Oh yeah, when you call someone in, you get their subjects now, which is a huge improvement. It makes it makes it so you never need to enforce mill access on your puppets and stuff, which is nice. Now, I don't see any reason why we don't want to give Prussia an obligation either, so I guess I'll give them one too. And now, like February the 6th, we can go like liberate Egypt, primary, and then conquer Sinai. Now, unlike before, we can see here that controlling the Ottoman capital will enforce this war goal, which is a super nice change. I'm going to primary this war goal, even though it will cost a bit of infamy. I think it's very much worth it because the Ottomans should be pretty scared and likely to back down. We have this here where we get empiricism tech progress, which is pretty nice. Oh, peasant movement has already spawned. Pretty lucky. I think like average spawn is like April or so. I'm gonna put the peasants in government. I'm gonna go for homesteading, cancel tenant farmers. The reason that increased the chance, by the way, is it makes the peasant movement a little bit mad when you cancel a law. So now you get their success chance. Now I'm going to quickly remove a couple of these social mobility decrees because I am realizing I want to bolster the peasant movement because that will increase success chance from 23 to 31, which is pretty significant. I think they buffed how much bolstering affects it. So that's pretty nice. We'll lower gov wages, I guess. And for now, the stall chance looks pretty bad, but as we get more peasant movement support, it should look better and better. I guess we have like no reason not to humiliate Ottomans. Very quickly push in through here. Very nice. I want to go for like a quick naval invasion. That might speed things up a little bit. Oh, wait, this is a strategic objective. Can we do a naval invasion? Yeah, we can do a naval invasion with you. Okay, looks like it's going to take a while. We have some troops that... No, they're not actually going to defend this. We'll see what they do. Now you assign troops directly to naval invasions instead of the HQ, which solves some of the issues with being able to create multiple naval invasions to block stuff, or to make it really hard to defend. But it is a little bit annoying if your opponent creates like a million. You have to like split your army, I think. We get this war between Britain and China. It looks like we can't sway in with Britain for anything. Bankroll sways, I believe, are completely gone, which is a big like nerf to basically anyone. We could go for like an enforced money transfer or whatever, but it wouldn't actually be that useful because you should cost this infamy, I think, or it might actually be broken right now where you can't do it. I don't know. Due to the front merging thing, we have all three of these as one front, which is super convenient. Also, you can see like they can be on different parts of the front line. They don't have to get spaghettied to be forced to be at like this specific point, which is super nice. Looks like our other members aren't actually negotiating, so we can just do this, and I don't think we really care about liberating Egypt. Yeah, I think we'll just not lib Egypt, or we could not lib Wallachia, but yeah, this seems fine. Propose this peace deal. Get Sinai. I'm gonna start incorporating it. I'm also going to road maintenance, violent suppression. We should start building government administration so that we can survey it. Do something like this. This should be good in terms of government administration. So we get a petition. What's our legitimacy? It's 95. I think I'll reject it. I'm gonna go for protectorate on Bolivia as my next war. It's a pretty good war, try and get that mandate growth up a little bit. And Bolivia, of course, has some free subjects we can get as our own subjects. Tenant Farmers Pass is done. We got it through fairly quickly. No more point in bolstering the peasant movement. Or actually, there is a little bit of a point. I think the authority will be better used increasing our success chance on this next thing. Oh, I should have gone back up to very high taxes, but we were getting a good pass chance there, so maybe it was worth it. Now we can't do it without going to low taxes, so I'm going to go back up to very high taxes, and I'm going to ask Prussia for a new law commitment, this time interventionism. They barely aren't at 100% success chance, yet 95%, so we need to give them a little something. We will transfer them some wood. That's kind of in my interest, I think. So we should get that through. Yep, now we can get some success chance on interventionism. The reason I'm going interventionism over like laissez-faire or something is laissez-faire blocks you from enacting monopolies, which I kind of like monopolies right now, so I'm going to be going interventionism instead. Get pretty high stall chance, but it's going to be pretty fine, I think. We can maybe like try to get some appeasement or something to fix this. I don't know. If it's close enough, maybe we could try to appease the anti-British lobby. I'm gonna start surveying the Suez. We got a little bit of a bureaucracy deficit, but it should be fine. Start building up a bit more. It's not great, but it'll be fine. Now I'm gonna start building up gold or iron. I think I'm actually gonna do iron over gold right now. Did sort of forget that we were at war with Bolivia. I should probably go do war against them. Not a war, a naval invasion. That would be good. Shouldn't be able to stop us, I think. We got a pretty big navy, and the Bolivians don't have that many troops. I think this is a bit too much construction. I'm actually going to delete, maybe two, actually. Yeah, two of these sets is too much. Oops, I should not have built that much, but it'll be fine. Our deficit's still pretty bad, but I think this is recoverable. Once we get, like, interventionism, we should be fine. We get the right of Knessery. This means the Central Asians are now free to do their thing, so I'm going to grant them their own market. This will fail this journal entry, which will give us the Kadzak revolt, which is exactly what we want, because When we defeat this, we'll get these guys annexed, and we'll get claims on Central Asia. Just nice to get this done early on instead of having to wait. Although maybe you want to keep them in your block for extra ability to add principals because you do need members. But I think it's fine to just get this done with early. Okay, I might have overbuilt bureaucracy a little bit. We have 1,000 extra even while we're surveying the Suez. So I'm going to start incorporating all of the incorporatable states now. Kazakh Khanate Protectorate. Now we get the Silent Seps. The claims are just like way better than this option. I don't know why you'd ever click this. You get like what? Negative 5% mortality per turmoil. Yeah, all these modifiers are basically useless. This will give you claims on some pretty good states like Bukhara, which has like 1,000,000 pop, and it also has opium. So this state is like actually like a pretty solid state. Sometimes I have this state be one of like the probably top 20 GDP states in my country, maybe even higher than that. It's a pretty solid state where you can usually maybe get like 4 million GDP or something. The rest of the states down here are kind of bad, but you know, they're not terrible. I'm pretty sure they have some resources. Yeah, not great, but they have some stuff. So as Isthmus surveyed, now I'm going to start building the canal. This will cost quite a lot of construction, especially with the new minus 33% state construction efficiency on unincorporated states. It's really annoying, but I guess it's kind of fair, but it definitely makes this a little bit harder for building the Suez Canal. Well, interventionism pass is not exactly going to plan. We are about to run an infamy though, so I'm going to declare a war on Persia because they're always a nice country to protect her. I think they have a giant pro-Russia lobby, so they're super easy to keep loyal. I'm also going to spam a bunch of revoke claim Morgels just to make them a bit more likely to back down, hopefully. Why do they already have claims on Baku? Did they change that? I feel like they're supposed to only get claims on this after they... Wait, have they even done the claim Herat thing? Did they like give that back? This is so weird that they already have claims on this. I thought they were supposed to have to complete their stuff all the way over here before they got claims on this. First mandate unlocked. I actually don't know what is the best mandate right now. I need a little bit of time to think about this. They added a new one in companies, and food standardization is a bit weaker. Oh yeah, I haven't talked about this yet, but population is so changed. I'm actually surprised it took me this long to talk about this. But population is super changed. The pop growth curve has changed. So 15 SOL is like how 20 used to be, where that's where peak SOL is if or peak pop growth is if you don't have any modifiers. 25 is the new 30, and they also changed the minimum mortality and stuff a little bit. But those are the most important things. Also, Russia has like a way lower starting population now. So those things are a little bit relevant, and it means that mortality modifiers are less important. Food standardization might still be good. 3 is especially bad because actually, like, we're gonna get to where SOL is bad pretty early on, really. Because, like, even at 10 SOL, they made mortality lower, so you need less modifiers for it to be better. Also, they nerfed advanced research. It only gives +5 instead of +10 on innovation investment now. Construction is kind of decent, I think. This is a little tricky on deciding what to do. Well, given this is the Carters of Commerce update, I think I'm going to go with companies as my first mandate. Persia backs down in the play. Nice to see. Huge revolt happening in Prussia. That's kind of nice. Oh, they call us as ally. Austria should get called in as well, right? Oh, France is against us. This is going to be a pretty big war. I think we're just going to cap out because we don't really care what the outcome of this is. Actually, we kind of do because if they lose, we're going to lose our law commitment, which would be very unfortunate. Atmo engine time. Huge iron shortage or coal shortage. I should really start building up coal to try to solve this. Looks like Austria is managing to win this war, which is pretty nice. Why is Bavaria in the war against us? Or no, this is military access shenanigans. Okay, they want someone for my military. Yeah, these guys not important. We'll give it to them in exchange for losing the obligation. We get our first gold rush event. We're gonna click It's Always Mine. This will auto-select mine. It's all mine for any future event like this, which is a pretty nice change. 5% prestige is good. Okay, in 140 days, hopefully we'll have interventions in pass. We have like an 80% success chance, so it should be fine, surely. Persia is pretty close to being reduced autonomy. I should really improve relations with them so we don't get that plus 0.1. Okay, past interventionism, which is super nice. Next thing I want to try to get through is per capita taxation. It's a pretty big increase in our money, so that would be very good. Um, what we're gonna do for that is get the armed forces and government. Oh, they don't like this. What can we do? Okay, we need to get the rural folk in government actually, or petite bourgeoisie. Do those work? We want something that will let us pass consumption based as well. Yeah, the petite bourgeoisie will. Okay, get petite bourgeoisie in government. Now we start passing consumption based. Cancel. That makes the peasant movement mad, and start going per capita. And now, yeah, this should be good. Oh, we can do this. Okay, yeah, this is good. Okay. Now with interventionism, we're making huge money, so we can afford way more construction sectors because investment pool is way bigger and stuff. We're going to reduce autonomy on Bolivia. This is always important because it lets Peru become a minor power, which means extra mandate growth. University innovation got cut in half. I did not realize this. That is so bad. Wow. Well, that's a big nerf. That wasn't there in all my previous test games. Okay, that's a big problem. Okay. That's gonna make things significantly worse because that actually makes a huge portion of like you have to spend so much construction in order to get unis now. That's like a huge fraction of the cost now. Or like and it's so much little innovation. It's half the innovation is before. Actually, I think with analytical philosophical department, it's actually under half. Well, we finally passed per capita taxation. Should probably get out of being a hyper illegitimate government. Get back to this, and it's time for religious schools. Got to get that education access up. 19% literacy is not what you want to see. I think we'll keep the authority on this instead of more social mobility decrees because I do want to have that enactment time bonus. Maybe I even take out the consumption tax. I mean, 15K is pretty good, but that's like quite a bit of extra enactment time we're getting there. I think we can afford a bit more construction sectors. I think we're gonna be waiting pretty long to go into unis. It's like we really want unis, but that half innovation makes them kind of hard to justify. Oh, I forgot to build a port for the Suez Canal. I'm a fool. Oh, we get Pops here to work in the Suez Canal. No. Oh, we're almost out of infamy. I'm going to declare a play to annex Oman. This might seem a little random. Oh yeah, if you didn't know, they added a war goal where you can annex insignificant powers now. Only insignificant or unrecognized powers, not unrecognized majors or regionals, just the lowest tier. It costs a lot of infamy if you went to big countries, but for small countries, it's really cheap on the infamy, and it's cheaper than annexing all of the states individually. If we do the math on this, you can see it's 18. If you check here, it's 15 plus 5 plus 1 plus 3. Yeah, it adds up to significantly less. I believe the reason for that is it doesn't take into account the base infamy cost for each individual state. It just takes into the base cost once. I could be wrong on why it's cheaper, but I believe that's the reason. We did just get our third company slot, or third company mandate, which means we can get the company if we had the thing. Would like to kind of establish Lil Pop Row and Co. right now, but yeah, it's not really working out how I'd like it to. We need to get a greener grass campaign here and hope for some migrants to come in and help us out here. Do we have social mobility decree going? Oh, we don't even have social mobility going. I should have had that going. Oh yeah, I do want to start trying to pass colonial exploitation or colonial resettlement or whatever. Oh, we can't get a legitimate government with these guys. Oh, because they're Republican. Let's exile this guy. We get a Democrat. That's annoying. They want him even less, bruh. Yeah, that's a little bit annoying. I definitely want to try to get that. It's 13 legitimacy, bruh. Why is Democrats so illegitimate? I don't know. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, the port should be built here now, so I'm going to put a greener grass campaign down, and hopefully we can start getting some migrants going in here, or at least cultural community will eventually spawn in. It's a little bit tough. Hmm, yeah. Okay, proposed peace deal, annexed Oman. Could start incorporating this. I think I'm not going to for now. Very much do want to try to get colonization going at some point, but I don't think now is going to be that point. Try to get water to boiler, which should hopefully supercharge the economy a little bit. Oh, I got a Russian cultural community in Sinai. That should mean that the canal is going to start employing up now. That's exactly what we needed to have happen. Nice. Definitely should have built the port and stuff earlier so we didn't have to wait a little bit longer than I would like to do this stuff, but it's fine. So this is lying, and you actually need 5 in Sinai, according to the developers, I think. So we're going to build 5 ports in Sinai, and that should let us complete that so we can establish the company. Should have done this a little earlier too, I guess, but it's not a big deal. It's only going to be, what, like, yeah, 34 weeks to get those going. So oh, wait, what? Turmoil back or whatever? Yeah. Put that back and we should be good. Gonna need to solve tool shortage. We're still lacking some tools. I was building trade centers for once, which I don't know how these go. Sometimes they like don't use all their trade capacity, which I'm not sure exactly why that happens. Sometimes I actually have tariffs set, but even when you have free trade, sometimes seem to not want to use all their trade capacity, which I don't see any logical reason why that should be happening. I'm gonna sign mutual trade privileges with Belgium because I want to be able to import more what's it called, motors from them, so that will just be a little bit useful. Let's see, can we find a motor trade center? I don't know, but it will make it much more easy to import them. Yeah, my relative advantage before was like -60, now it's -16, which is significantly less bad, or -29, still significantly less bad. Why is, oh, what? The trade center here is no longer trading it. I guess they went to a different one? No, what? Oh, we're tariffing? Stop tariffing, and hopefully we can get a little bit more. Oh, I guess we're just building motors ourselves, so we don't need as many imported now. But trade privileges are always nice, I guess. Okay, can finally establish the Suez Canal Company. At this point, it isn't like a huge portion of our revenue for 50K, but it is still pretty significant to get 50K income. We can give it shipyards. Let's not do that. I think if you give this trade rights, it bricks the trade centers, so let's not do that. We might just subvent merchant marine so that we can hopefully make the company a little bit more profitable, because we do want to make it hit the prosperity bonus. Yeah, let's maximum subvent exports of merchant marine, and hopefully that will make this company able to be a little bit productive, because right now it is very, very low productivity. Yep, trade centers are now selling it now that I put subventions up on max. So that should hopefully make the company a lot more prosperous. We just need to get some more staff building levels, which should happen. Maybe let's give it a monopoly. Monopolies here can only take away after 5 years, but I think it's fine. I'll give it a monopoly on ports. Trade centers? Trade centers are so good. I don't want to give it a monopoly on that, I think. Nearly out of infamy. Oh, the Confederate States already exists. We're gonna go for protectorate on these guys. France is kind of lucky to intervene. How about Argentina? Can we go for them? Yeah, looks like Argentina should be good. Chile sided with Argentina. Oh, they backed down. Okay, I guess I'll go Chile next. You know what? Why can I not invade them? Apparently that gives you a truce now. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's gonna let you choose the opium war super easy. Yeah, well, it's not really a super unique method, but you can now back down to Portugal instead of backing down to the UK, I guess. Looks like productivity on the Suez Canal Company is trending in the direction we want to see it, which is very good. Definitely want to have that plus 50K tax income. I'm not 100% sure if it was actually worth going for, though, given that we had to sacrifice a little Pop Brow and Co. for a while. We could, like, have disestablished the Russian-American company. You know, I should really give this a monopoly on logging camps. I really should have done that day one, but I was too much of a fool to think about that. Venezuela has sent me a treaty. Venezuela hosts a Russian power block embassy. We give them 10 oil. Venezuela to build in Russia. Let's negotiate here. Well, they really want this treaty. Can we like take one of their states with this? Almost, actually. That's crazy. That's actually crazy that we could do something like this and just take Bolivar. Is Bolivar actually a good state? I don't think so, but that would be kind of funny. We'd want like Zulia or something, but I don't think that they're gonna be. Oh, we actually like deleted the treaty there, I think. Yeah, oops. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm not gonna try to rebuild that treaty. I don't care that much. Instead, I'll simply make Venezuela my protectorate. We have our second mandate slot. What do I want to go with on this one? Probably just colonial offices, right? I mean, external trade is super nice. Food standardization is super nice, but can't, I love food. Yeah, I kind of just love food too much. Okay, Venezuela back down in the play. That's what we want to see. Very nice extra protectorate for our country, bringing us up to 10 power block members, so we can use that fourth mandate slot. Okay, I should try to get these guys into my block. Just ask for an embassy, and that's probably going to be good enough. Maybe investment rights too, and that should be easy enough. Power block embassy and investment rights. Yep, okay. We should be able to get these guys into the block. By the way, the way I was able to see leverage again is you go into here and you press power block leverage. We can go food standardization 2 here, and that brings pop growth up to 1.6%, which is pretty oh, we just got pharmaceuticals, so that means public health insurance, which will make our pop growth go even higher. Hopefully after this we can like re-exile this guy and then go for colonial offices, or not colonial offices, just do the colonialism stuff, because I do want to try to compete with Britain for East Africa and over here in Congo. Easy enactment chance, let's go. So, we need a bit more prosperity for our Suez Canal Company. I'm going to give it trade rights, which, for the Suez Canal Company, actually removes trade centers, which will make the building much more profitable, because trade centers are not very profitable right now, at least the ones it owns. So, hopefully, this will get us up to 100 prosperity, and then we can. Oh, what happened? Why did productivity suddenly fall off of a cliff? What happened? Uh-oh. Merchant Marine is fairly cheap. That's probably the problem. But what I'm going to try to do is set all the ports to anchorages and then manually set all the ports that the company owns back. Okay, I've set them all back, and that should give the company a ton of productivity. Yep, now it's super productive. So that's exactly what we should need, and it should be able to get it over the finish line now. I remember to spam so many buildings in the construction queue. I really feel like I shouldn't have to spam this much at like 600 construction. Having a huge civil war over there in France might be nice. Looks like this side's gonna win, so I guess I'll take an obligation. Oh, actually, UK might join the other side. That might make things a little bit more complicated, but as long as that doesn't happen, this should just be kind of a free win for this side on the Civil War, I think. Wait, what? How is the canal company not prosperous? What happened? So it turns out I'm pretty sure the problem was that trade centers were getting negative 90% trade advantage from trading in both directions, apparently, even though I'm pretty sure they won't. So I reloaded the save and it went away, and now the company is headed towards 100 prosperity. So that's a little bit interesting. Hopefully that's not a thing in the release version. I'm gonna build a like 50 stack uni in Kharkov. I know, it's only one innovation or 1.5 once we get dialectics, but I want to start getting some innovation going, so we gotta do it. Okay, well now that the Suez Canal Company is prosperous, we can finally go for Lil Pop Rao E. Lowenstein, the greatest company in the history of companies. Steel, coal, and tools, and motor industries, extra industry. I'm gonna do that. Monopoly, 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 trade rights, investment rights. Costs a bunch of authority, but it's super worth it. Bureaucracy is a little bit of a problem, it looks like. I don't know what happened with that, but I will start building some government administrations to solve our bureaucracy problems. Oh, we have some on the wrong PM. Okay, let's swap that up. Helps a little bit, but we need more government administrations for sure. Oh, I think the reason it put us in bureaucracy is that we got public health insurance, so we really wanted to get that bureaucracy going. We have like a ton of unis going. Yeah, I want to put the government administrations at the top of the queue real quick so that we can hopefully start getting healthcare up. Okay, can start leveling up healthcare now so we can get our pop growth up. It's so easy to get high pop growth in this new version. Well, that's in the early game. In the late game, it I think is actually going to be significantly harder because if your SL gets like above 15 really easily, and that's going to mean your pop growth's going to start collapsing. Well, I don't have civilizing mission yet, so it's a little bit of a waste of infamy, but I don't really know what to spend our infamy on, and we're completely out, so we need to declare on something. I guess we'll go for a annex on Bukhara. Of course, the annex country war goal is not worth it when you have returns CBs on the country. So we're just gonna conquer the whole country. I don't know why there's 3 different options to conquer Bukhara and South Turkestan. It looks like this should be good. Oh, Oh, that's not good. They patched it so that if you don't primary it, it doesn't give the or plus confidence. Hmm. So I might need to primary some of these in order to make them not back down. This isn't a problem I've had before. How much of the infamy is coming from this main war goal? I guess I'll primary like one of the other ones. Which of these states is going to be the most important? Looks like it's going to be Bukharan, Tajikistan. Kokand decided with them? Okay, we'll go for a return CB or two on Kokand. Except I don't have enough moves full annex. We get all but the capital, I think, which is good. I'm gonna exile this armed forces guy again because I do want to try passing colonial exploitation at some point. That's so illegitimate. Why is this so illegitimate? Oh, we have unresponsive governance. That is a bit of a problem. I'm gonna put on a consumption tax on clothes because I do just need to get more money at this point because interest is getting really bad. Well, Bukhara is about to capitulate, and I don't think Kokand is going to be very far behind. Yeah, we should be enforcing on Kokand now because we've occupied all the war goals. Yeah, we should be able to peace out soon enough. Or we'll just occupy the capital probably, and that'll instant enforce. No, maybe we get a peace deal. I don't know what's gonna happen first. Let's see. 79% occupation. Let's see. Peace deal. Nope, we got the full occupation, I'm pretty sure, for that. We got plenty of bureaucracy, so I will start instantly incorporating these newly acquired states. Looks like we didn't incorporate the southern Central Asian states before, but we now are going to be doing that. Uzbekia's got some good stuff, tons of opium we could potentially build here if we need to. Lopop Rawi Lowenstein doing pretty good, just hit its prosperity bonus, meaning it now produces refined steel, which makes you get some pretty nice bonuses. If we look at where the steel is being consumed, which is going to be in tooling workshops, I guess, you can see that this is getting plus 10% throughput from 50% prestige good inputs. It's up to 20%, but I think it's based on prices, by the way. That's how this is half and not wood being half or whatever. We could spend 13 infamy to transfer the Kazakh and Kyrgyz territories. I'm pretty sure that's a terrible deal. Yeah, that's an awful deal. This costs like 5 infamy to take with return state. I'm gonna keep building more trade centers in Yaroslavl. They seem to be going pretty well. Oh, also I should swap up the unis to using the new PM of philosophy department, which, yep, we're now at our innovation cap and we're getting a little bit in unspent innovation. Definitely would like to get a lot more, but innovation is a lot more expensive than in my previous test games. We get nihilism. This is super nice. It should make it much easier to get off of what's it called? State religion, because state religion is terrible and we do want to get off of it, but going religious schools makes it fairly difficult to get off of that, but we should be able to get it done. We might want to bolster the nihilist movement, although the support is like so small, basically might do basically nothing. I'm going to stop using decrees on Sinai. That is kind of a waste of authority. Let's see if we bolster the nihilist movement. How much support does that get it up to? 9%? That's kind of decent. With that, with 57% stall is kind of crazy. Armed forces are kind of the problem here. Other than that, this might be doable. It's a little tricky, but I guess we could bolster the minority rights movement. What would that get support up to? Only 14, so that's not really doing much. Yeah, Wait, just positivists? Oh yeah, positivists hate the church as well. Would they approve going to freedom of conscience? Yeah, they do approve it. It is a better thing. If we bolster this, we can get it up to 14. So looks like bolstering the nihilist movement is going to be most effective. And then with the combination of these two movements, we should be able to pass freedom of conscience. I've researched quinine, but we can't use it unless we get a colonial law, which is kind of annoying. We could just like lower taxes by 2 in order to do this. Maybe we just pause construction to pass this, because I kind of want to, stop being in a ton of debt. There is like some cheese strat I found where I could like make China take on my debt here, but this seems a little bit cheaty. The PBR is saving me from my debt. Nice. Oh yeah, it's past 1856 now, so I can go for some return CBs again. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay, you don't want to give in. Well, you'll have to get return CB'd on. Hopefully they won't back down. We'll see. Get a full annex on these guys. It's gonna be a bit longer for Circassia, I guess. Well, final mandate, we gotta go colonial offices. Gotta get that minus 25% infamy generation. There's no choice there, you know. That's just a must pick. Oh, Circassia ends up siding with these guys, so we will better annex them now, I guess. Okay, these guys are now dealt with. Very nice. Oh, we got a broken company headquarter. I need to go report that. China's going into a lot of debt, which is very nice to see. Yeah, 28 million debt means they're probably gonna bankrupt fairly soon here, which is very nice. I was looking to see if I could find a cause of why China is going into huge debt, and it looks like it's because they passed law enforcement and home affairs. That would put them in a lot of debt, because that is a lot of extra bureaucracy they would have had to build. Confederates just sent me this treaty. I would like trade privileges and maybe investment rights. Don't want to give them investment rights. Do I want investment rights? I don't really know. Yeah, this seems kind of like a decent deal. We just get trade privileges and investment rights for guarantee of independence. Take it. I think I'm gonna go food company next. You know, really want to get that 5% birth rate. It's a super nice modifier. We already have 2.2% pop growth, so you know if we can get that up even higher, that would be super nice. I can't believe it. We're getting so unlucky with colonial exploitation. Well, I mean, we're getting kind of lucky, just not with successes. It's all advances, basically. 86% success chance, be like. I guess I'm gonna go for Protectorate on New Granada. Just need something to spend my infamy on. Ideally, I would like to stop attacking unrecognized powers until we get, like, civilizing mission, because it's really inefficient. I'm gonna try to hire more generals, because having low org is actually, like, terrible. And past colonial exploitation. Also, what I mean by it's terrible is it gives negative 75% offense defense, which is, yeah, not good. I'm gonna start leveling this up. I guess I'll level up education as well. If you get that up, maybe we'll stop using promote social mobility decrees. I'm gonna start colonizing over here in both of these spots. Oh, looks like that was just like one spot and then that area's done. So here's a nice thing that they added in the new update. When you start colonizing, it instantly builds a port for you, which is super convenient. I'm gonna take an interest off of India, I guess, to go into Niger, so we can get a colony in the Delta here, which is gonna be pretty good. Is there anywhere else that we want to start colonizing? Maybe we could go for conquering Gaza, and then we can go conquer through there, or colonize through there up here, because this is regular quinine, or regular malaria, so that might be good. I'm gonna try to pass freedom of conscience. You get 24% success chance, it's pretty decent. I'm gonna go back up on taxes and take the armed forces out of government now. Probably exile this guy if possible. No, he's too similar to the ideology of ruler, right? So we can't do that. But it should be fine. Apparently we have a historical character, market liberal, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Freedom of conscience should hopefully pass. The odds on it don't look too bad. Great Alexander II is finally here, the great reformer. Except it doesn't really matter that much, but I think it's like plus 10 legitimacy because we no longer have arrogant, and also we no longer get minus 25% infamy generation from being imposing. Of course, it's possible to get him as your ruler in like the first year if you do abdication shenanigans, but I wanted to do a more normal run this game. The Orthodox are not happy about this. Why are plus 50 from standard living difference? What? Are the Orthodox actually that low SOL in our country? Really, there should be like no difference between this and the average because it's 92% of the people. What? We get a petition for laissez-faire. I don't know if I'm actually going to pass it. Probably not, but I'm going to accept the petition anyway because I don't really care about approval on these guys and I more care about the legitimacy. I think it's finally time for more universities. I put a bunch of construction in the queue, but after that, like 100 more unis in Kharkov is going to be good. We do have peasants right here. Yeah, we do. So that should be good. That'll give us another 180 innovation, which should translate to like, what, 25 unspent innovation tech spread, which is something. I just took off the social mobility decrees. I'm going to start bolstering the positivist movement and suppressing the orthodox trad movement. Once this is done, maybe I'll use the authority on more company charters. I'm not really sure. It looks like we're about to get prosperity on the food company, which is nice. That should increase our pop growth a little bit. Why is our pop growth decreased so much? I don't know. Interesting. Oh, we have a lot of starvation. 14 million. Okay. I should start building agriculture. We actually don't have intensive agriculture researched yet. Let's go intensive agriculture manual research here, actually. I'm gonna start building some wheat plantations. We really need to get intensive agriculture going so we can hopefully fix our starvation issues. In the meantime, I'll put a little bit of a subvention on importing grain, so we can hopefully fix this a little bit with that. Well, I would prefer to not fight a civil war over this, so we're gonna give up on passing freedom of conscience, I guess. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's not a huge deal. Probably next law we'll try to pass is proportional. The plan was to, like, fake enact a law, unenact it, and go prop tax, but we don't need to do that. We're just gonna go free trade real quick, 'cause that'll give us extra trade advantage on imports and stuff. We can use our industry trader to get wheat farms on the food company. I actually kind of like doing that, and I guess we'll give it trade rights as well. And that should be pretty good. These guys will let us get some more wheat, which will hopefully make famine get a little bit less bad. But it's pretty bad right now. We got intensive agriculture, so we should start swapping up. We're going to need to import some fertilizer in the short term, and then build up some fertilizer plants for the long term. Moldavia just asked to join the bloc. Oh, I guess, yeah, the Ottomans just lost their recognition, which also means they've lost all their subjects. Unfortunately, I've been trying to get Wallachia into the bloc forever, and it's really hard to get leverage on them. Oh, wait, what? Why do we have leverage all of a sudden? What happened? I don't know, but we have leverage now, so we can invite Wallachia. Serbia doesn't want to join through this screen, but they might want to join through this screen, because it's different for some reason. Yep, there we go. We can get Serbia in the bloc, and Montenegro. Nice. Greece still not really wanting to join. They got zero leverage, basically. Us, the British, and Austria are very much competing for this one. For some reason, there's still huge starvation in the Persia area, but mostly in our country it's solved. Chernigov, I believe, is just because there's a bunch of unemployed pops here. I don't know why. This should be fairly profitable. I guess I'll subsidize this, because I kind of want to get more grain, so that will be kind of nice. Just research steel frame, finally, so we can start swapping up to that. That'll be pretty nice. Oh, China's in 146 million debt. They should really be bankrupting soon, I think. Unfortunately, of course, their prestige is too high for that to result in any immediate problems, but we can take over all of our return CBs very easily once they're bankrupt, and maybe also go for Beijing. That would be pretty good. Kinda crazy for company headquarters to outnumber financial districts 3-1. I think I'm going to do a treaty like this. It's quite a bit of influence, or no, it's Great Britain influence, but it is 10k income, but I do want to take Kenya so the British are cut off from all their stuff over here in East Africa. That would be pretty good, I think. Just classic scamming the AI. Give them a bunch of useless things, and we get Kenya, which means they no longer have any connection to this other stuff. I don't think we can renegotiate the treaty because the AI gets minus 300, so we can't, like, scam them super hard. I do wonder how much they want these remaining provinces now that they're, like, completely cut off. Apparently they still want them quite a bit, but they are going to be stuck, no longer able to expand, which is good. Even with all of the possible non-severe malaria colonies going, we're kind of at our colonization cap, so I guess I'll go start doing some colonies over here in Central Asia. I made the foolish mistake of trying to invade Transvaal. Apparently, this is impossible to reach front. What? What about this army? Can you reach Transvaal? Yes, you can. Okay, that's good, I guess. I think I'm gonna build a bit more universities so we can get more tech spread going. We got like 200 million GDP almost, so it seems kind of worth it to go for more at this point. Oh, China declared bankruptcy and I just didn't realize it. Are they back in debt? I do wonder. They're not. Unfortunate, but we are going to declare war on them, and that might send them back into debt. I guess I'll declare for North Heuyangjiang. Now, how much infamy is it for money? How terrible is the ratio here? 3.3 infamy. Oh, what? This, like, starts going up so fast. If we wanted, like, 25% of their money, it costs us 33 infamy. Such a scam. Yeah, it's not worth it. So we're just going to take all of our return states, I guess, and hopefully mobilizing the army will put them back into debt, because definitely do you want them to start bankruptcy spiraling. After your second bankruptcy, you really start bankruptcy spiraling. I will primary North Jilin as well, because they're pretty worried, so I don't want them to back down. Mobilize all armies. Try to select a bunch of these. Is the Transvaal War over? Yeah, it is. So we'll move everything over to this front against China. What? I don't know why I'm not able to move it. I guess I'll do this one at a time. I guess liberating Joseon would be something. That'll make them get a little bit less money transfer, which might make them more likely to re-bankrupt. The big thing that makes you start bankrupt spiraling is you get a lot of turmoil every time you bankruptcy, unless they change that, but I don't think they did. Let's take a look. Yeah, still you get like 15% of your pops as radical. Oh yeah, China backed down in that war. I just kind of realized that that happened. It's kind of unfortunate, but they are actually going into some debt, which is good. Only 100K debt. Are they going up in debt or down? Are they going down in debt? Dang, unfortunate. I'm gonna turn on bulk trading. We'll see how this does for our economy, because that's gonna mean that the trade centers can trade quite a bit more. Although it looks like they're not really wanting to trade as much as they could, which is kind of surprising since we're on free trade. You'd think it'd be pretty profitable, but it's not that profitable, unfortunately. I'm really not sure what's causing this plus 50 activism from compared to average in the country. Maybe that's like if they have below average at all, they get plus 50. I'm not really sure how it works, but it does kind of mean that we just like can't really afford to try to go off of state religion unless we want to fight a civil war. Which actually we could say suppress the movement. Let's try doing that because the modernization movement, I can't find a way to get enough activism on that, so I'm just gonna try to suppress the Orthodox traditionalist movement, and maybe we can get it weak enough. Oh yeah, it's only trending towards 2% support now. If we can get it below 5, we can try to pass freedom of conscience. I'm just going to point out that the GDP growth of the AI is insane relative to past patches. USA isn't as good because it has the Confederate states, but usually USA does really good this patch. UK is doing pretty insane, 115 million GDP. In like 1.8, this would have been like a 1890 to 1900 level of GDP, I think, but now it happens significantly earlier. Also, like China actually grows their economy now. You can see they're up like 20 million from the start of the game. The bankruptcy did lower a bit, but they do actually build construction when I checked them, I believe. Yeah, we can see here that they built 213 construction. They can't afford it right now, but if they could, they would be using that. I just had a ton of stuff on auto expand because microing this much construction is pretty annoying. Looks like that has managed to fill quite a few pages of construction. I hope they made auto expand actually able to use your full construction this time. We'll see. So apparently the Orthodox tradition movement is just gone now. So I'm going to try to pass freedom of conscience. I'll see how that goes. Looks like it's going pretty good. No stall chance. Get this through. That'll be good. The GDP per capita in Kursk is pretty insane. Like Kharkov has more GDP, but Kursk has so few pops. GDP per capita here is insane just because like we've got so many people working in these iron mines that are insanely productive. 106% throughput is crazy. Oh, Lil Pop has an experienced entrepreneur. That's so based. He's intelligentsia as well. That's nice. I wonder how much Cloud's going to the intelligentsia. 35%? That's the highest I've ever seen. The highest I seen before this was 25%. I'm going to grant exemption from service to all my subjects, and then I'm going to declare war on China, and we're going to try to bankrupt them, and hopefully be able to subjugate them from that. So that should be everyone exempted from service. No, Muhammara we need to do. I think that's everyone. We can take a look. No, Russian American company. This is just so that they don't push. We want to have the front be just stable for a while so that China can go into some debt. And then I'm also going to add liberate Yue and Yunnan. A little bit of a late China subjugation compared to what you'd like to have happen. We're going to have it in like the mid 1880s probably. But it should be fine. Yeah, we'll just primary these. And then I I guess I'll add some return CBs. Qing Kyrgyzia we actually do kind of need. And then I guess we'll put in Ili as well. And I don't think they should back down given we've got some pretty bad war goals for them on this. Now all of our troops are just going to defend on the front, at least at the start of the war. And hopefully that should make the Chinese go bankrupt because they have a ton of line infantry troops. So they shouldn't be able to afford them all. I think. We'll see. Well, that's not great. Minus 40% recovery or 6% mortality, but it should be fine. You got a pretty big advantage. I don't think they'll ever do an attack. Average Connor RNG. RNG carried right here. Absolutely RNG carried. Oh no, it's so over for France. It's so over. Oh, apparently, even when you have subjects exempted from service, they join your wars. That is Pretty surprising, but we're gonna need to carry this radical revolt because it does not look to be in the best of conditions. Um, we're gonna have to like bring over like one of our armies, I guess, and then use an insane amount of conscripts to win this. Troops we cannot send over there at all, so how do we win this? Apparently I have a strategic adjacency with Spain somewhere. Oh, I guess right here. That's where we have a strategic adjacency with Spain. So I can get military assistance. We can do something like this, and not military assistance, military access, and that should let us do a pretty big attack on France through the Pyrenees here. We just need to get some conscripts ready, and then we can do battle through Spain to get in. Belgium sides against us, but it should be fine. We are on peasant levy, so we need to do full skirmish. And I mean, we should have like enough conscripts that this war is an easy win, I think. This is a pretty nice pickup. Got very lucky with this tiny French Civil War. 1,000 conscripts should be plenty. Let's just put these all on general training, and that should be good. Well, Spain sided with them. I don't know how the military access is going to work in that case. We might need to try to get military access from someone else. I don't know who we could possibly get it from. I guess actually Prussia would work. Um, let's see. How do we do this? Investment rights? No. Oh, we can do mutual. Looks like that works. Yeah, they like doing that. Okay. I don't even... Oh, I guess I... Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Now, we just need to give this army a ton of generals so that it would actually not have the most ridiculous penalties in the history of penalties. The penalties for having low org are so bad now. I kind of hate that change. I really hate the change, I think. This general is expert offensive planner, which is super nice. But we should just put a plan in naval invasion, or not naval invasion, but invasion into Belgium or so. Or wait, no, now that we have military access, we can actually just go on the front. What am I thinking? I think probably I'm gonna stay on the defense until Spain is out, or until we have a big advantage due to our conscripts. These guys want their own market. I will give it to them, and then I think we can actually like instantly reduce autonomy. No, not quite, because they I guess gain a ton of liberty desire almost immediately. But we should be able to reduce it at some point. It would be good. Looks like they are pushing in right now, which is not ideal, but I mean we can hold for a pretty long time before we cap out, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna need to occupy the capital, which I guess is Ile-de-France is a little bit easy for them to occupy, but our disadvantage isn't that big, actually. Oh, France has some shrapnel. That's our problem. I see, okay. Okay, these are our first battles that we're actually winning. Good to see. I'm gonna delete some conscripts because we've accidentally gotten too many, and now we're having huge org problems. I'm gonna get us to exactly 800 troops so that we can have org. Oh, we've unlocked shrapnel artillery. That's good, but I can't really get too much of it. I should put something to go kill the natives here. Belgium just capitulated out of the war. It didn't do too much, but Spain should be capping out soon, and then I'm gonna probably try to do some stuff to win the war. Oh, we have an expert offensive planner here, don't we? Yeah, we do. So maybe I should start trying to push. I mean, our offense value is pretty low, but we might actually still be able to do it anyway. Maybe I should wait for Spain to leave, but I'm just gonna try it and we'll see what happens. Okay, failing, but it's fine. I might actually want to try to build some shrapnel artillery in this army. That could be good. Yeah, maybe I'll try to build like 100 shrapnel artillery and then delete some conscripts here. That should be good. Spain's about to capitulate out of the war, which will be good. That means we're left with just France. I don't know how the front is managing to... There's not... Oh, what? The Belgian troops and Spanish troops are still on the front. So that's a bug. Well, that's a pretty annoying bug. But... Oh, is it? It's instant stopping the battles if it happens to be against them too? Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, turns out reloading the save actually removes them from the front. Okay, that's good. Okay, winning some battles to get into Rhone, then we can defeat the French, and once we're done with the French, I think that at this point, China's probably in enough debt that they'll bankrupt in the next 5 years if we peace out, so we'll probably send that army over and peace out China. Oh, we passed freedom of conscience. That's nice. probably want to go for like multiculturalism somewhat soon. Conquering Chinese or annexing China somewhat soon is probably gonna make that pretty easy. We also have the minority rights movement thing, which is kind of nice. It's not really high enough support for it to give us multiculturalism, I think. I mean, actually, it's kind of big enough that you might be able to use this to pass multiculturalism. I wonder how much bolstering affects this. Let's take a look. It goes to 17. Might actually be good enough. Yeah, I might actually give that a shot. Okay, well, France is going to be capping out in just a second here, and that's going to be pretty nice. Get a good old French Republic subject. And now, I mean, we probably don't need this many troops, but it's fine. We need to rehire a general for it so that it can have max org, and it's going to go destroy the Chinese. It's like our balance isn't too good, but it'll be fine. It's not going to be fine, but also it's going to be fine, you know? I just realized there's multi-order things, so you can set all generals to have the same order. That's so useful. We got multilateral alliances. Very nice. We're going to go for malaria prevention next. With multilateral alliances, that means we could go for a transfer British Raj war soon, which would be pretty good. Raj actually has a lot of GDP. Yeah. Okay. Peace with China. Let's see what their debt is at. It's at 12 million. I don't know if that's enough where it's going to go up or down. I'll take a quick little watch on this and we'll see which direction it goes first. Oh, our infamy is at 0. Oh wait, why can I not do a transfer Bengal War? Oh wait, owe an obligation to Great Britain, right, that makes sense. How long till that expires? 34 months? Okay. Maybe we should start building a land bridge till then? Well, we'll get claims on all the Pashtun stuff soon from Conquest of Turkestan. That now gives claims on every Pashtun homeland state, so we don't want to conquer those, really. Let's take a look at all the states that have Pashtun homelands. We could go for, like, Sindh. That could be good. Or we could go for a war that the British are likely to join against us. I think this was likely. Yeah, let's declare this war against Nejd, and the British are pretty likely to get involved. Yeah, that seems like a good idea, I think. I'm gonna annex Nejd. I'm also going to demobilize the 800 stack so that we actually have an economy. Yeah, that should help a little bit. Although, yeah, our construction might be a little too high. I swapped everything up to steel frame, which might just be a little too expensive. But I think we can probably handle it. We've still got 16 million peasants left, even though we haven't really done too much annexation. Well, a little bit of that is in Beijing, but only like 3 million probably. Yes, China is going further into debt. This is what we needed to see. Are they on max taxes right now? No, they're on high. So they could go up more and maybe avoid it, but they haven't yet, so that's good. Debt is not looking the best. But I mean, it's not that bad either. What's our interest rate? 5.8%. Probably don't really want to be going into debt at a 5.8% interest rate, but it's also like not that bad. We have a powerful PB, so we can try to get them happy. Is appointed bureaucrats good? Probably is pretty good. We could go like pro army or something here as well. I don't really want to do that, I think, though. Secret police, maybe? That's a decent law. Yeah, we'll go for secret police. Cut our interest down by like 100k to do that. That's good. Okay, actually, I'm gonna try to get the modernization movement so we can go prop tax. That's plus 12. And then that's another plus 12. And I think that, yeah, we get the modernization movement, labor movement, and socialist movement. And we can now get prop tax, and that's going to be pretty huge. You got 250k income. Unfortunately, I think PB is no longer giving bonus. Yeah, it's no longer giving the minus loan interest rate, but it's fine. Apparently, you can do invasions through impassable terrain. I think liberating Yunnan was overkill because their prestige is only like double the requirement. How much infamy did we end up losing probably by that? Let's take a look at like what's the annexed country. It's only going to be like 12 infamy we lost probably. Or we already have civilizing mission actually, so it's like 20 infamy we lost. So that's kind of bad, but it's not a huge deal. Oh, this is the war we can get UK into. Can we then transfer India? Probably, yeah, that looks good. Okay. Conquer Rishtat, and hopefully UK will join against us in this. Transfer British Raj. Apparently this is less infamy than transfer Canada, but we're gonna go for it, and that's gonna be super good. I'm gonna start raising these conscripts. so I can get the numbers up. We're gonna need this in order to defeat them. Could we get like military access through these guys maybe? Probably. We might just have to do a landing actually though, because I don't see yeah, we'd have to conquer a Pashtun province, I think. Unless like this thing over here in Chitral isn't. Yeah, we could do that. That might be good. Looks like there's a bit of a front here. It's not really gonna matter though, so I guess I'll just like use these troops fighting. Oh, these troops have like no manpower. Let's try to send some troops down to fight Transvaal, and then I'll just try to naval invade into India probably. And that should be a pretty good plan. Well, we're about to land in Arakan, and then there's some stuff going on up here, which is not looking too good. I'm gonna try my best to defend against that. We'll see. There's kind of like a lot of naval invasions going on, so it's gonna be tricky to defend against them all. But I will try to. Yeah, wow, this is tough. They've got a lot of troops to attack us with. Looks like this is the main front for now, but they're about to be another front with this one. Yeah, not good. We got our first battle done on that one, and we win it. I'm gonna send this army over to the other front now. And then this Raj front is gonna be tough. Oh yeah, over here I want to send you. You go for West Bengal. Um, can we enforce on Bahrain? No, we cannot. Okay, that's unfortunate. Um, transit rights, what does that require? At least one Russian state? Are you kidding me? That's annoying. That's really annoying. So as soon as we like get done with occupying West Bengal, we need to split armies up and try to hold all of Africa and stuff. Except we're actually going to enforce on Orania, which means that there's actually going to be no war goal against us, which, I mean, that's kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing. It means we're not going to get the -1 ticking from that, but it also means that we have no way to stop getting ticked. Defending the British or the Russian mainland here is a bit tricky. I do want to try to go for like a naval invasion on the British mainland soon. We really need to get into West Bengal though. It's not going too well. It's going kind of fine actually. Oh, this might actually get us in just a second. Yeah, okay, that's good. Yep, we're gonna get in. Okay, yep, we're in. Now Britain's capping at 1.34 versus our 0.97. So we should win. Except, I don't know. Um, so I'm gonna keep maybe like a 200 stack here. I don't think we need that many troops to defend this front. We'll see. Yeah, that should be good enough. And then I'm gonna send the rest back over here. Sending an alien nation up to the Highlands. Bro, why are you leaving? Don't leave. Don't leave. Please. We need to defend our country. Okay, looks like we can probably just, or there's like some sort of minimum time before it can land, I guess, and they get troops on the front now. Okay, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Assuming they're gonna have more than one troop, which actually looks like they only have one troop on the front, so maybe we can still get in, despite having like a 100% penalty. Maybe. No, they're gonna get here in time. Okay, well, I don't know what we do then. Might just be lost. Or, well, capitulation desire, I think they hit it first. We get a world to win. Okay, I'll offer better conditions for the workers. We don't have org, so we can't land. I don't know what happened to our org. Oh, apparently we're landing without org. I just saw two battles happen. Okay, we're into the UK. Apparently that teleports an army to the front when you get in. Also, we got prop tax, which is super nice. Guess we go out of that government now. Right, probably should have passed something the PB like. A dedicated police force. That'll make them happy so we don't have to pay as much interest. And then I guess just do whatever. Okay. Okay, well, now the British are capping fast enough that we should win the war. As long as we don't lose the occupation of West Bengal, which actually is happening. But I think we can peace out with Britain in like 2 weeks, so it should be fine. I don't think they can make it into West Bengal that fast. And then we can enforce the war. Oh, no, we should have added more war goals or something. Yeah, this is very much not good. Uh-oh. Oh, we win that battle? Yes, we do. Okay, we need more conscripts here. Uh-oh. Why is the menu scrolling? I don't know, but I'm just gonna try to get a couple more conscripts into this pocket so we can hopefully defend it, because we need to defend it at all costs at this point. If we lose this, it's Jover. We need to hold till either British capitulation is there or the war support's close enough. We're gonna be capping out of this at some point, but I think it's fine. Okay, the holding of West Bengal, it's going pretty well. Yeah, it looks like they aren't even trying to push in now. Just need like 3 more weeks and we can transfer British Raj. Okay, peace at last. Finally, the Dominion of India is ours. And now I can go for like a naval invasion on Bahrain. And I can start demobilizing the 600 stack because it's not necessary. And now our economy, it's finally good for once. I wonder how much the British or the India Diplo Pact is. It's almost 100K. That's what we get with our good old 150 million GDP subject, which is pretty insane. POV British GDP when it loses India. We just got malaria prevention, which is nice. I mean, our colonies in severe malaria will be doing much better. I do want to... Oh, we got vulcanization. I didn't realize that. That's going to be super nice, actually. Might want to start swapping up to machine steel tools. 5K rubber. Do we have like 500 rubber plantations? Probably not. Or these gives 30 each, so this is actually kind of close to being enough. But might want to do a little bit of a slow swap up. So I'll just swap up like a couple of our biggest ones. Also, let's do financial district swap up. It's like barely any more income, but it's worth doing, I guess. I should really swap everything up. I forgot to do this for a while. But machine steel tools we can't do all at once. Just gonna do a couple. You can probably afford a few hundred. I think that is probably good as our starter. Looks like rubber is still super cheap. Actually, we already have 3K rubber in the market. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna go machine steel tools then. And we should be good. Yeah, rubber prices are max, but they were so low before. I assume that not all the rubber plantations are fully employed. Easy Sicily Protectorate. Love to see it. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, go on that front. Get Sicily. Easy wins. I'm going to start subsidizing gun exports. I'm going to put them on max for now. We'll see how that goes. The reasoning for this is they kept in the event from last thing. It's going to change a little bit, but trade route events dot one, which lets you get -5 infamy if countries importing small arms from you, is still in the game. It's a little bit different conditions, but it's still in the game. So we're going to try to get that to trigger, and exporting more small arms is a good way to accomplish that. We can see the world market price is fairly low, and I assume, yeah, we're basically every export, so any country that's importing small arms is going to be getting the vast majority of it from us. And we're going to crash the prices like so much. Wait, what? Bruh. That's annoying. Our side in the Civil War got annexed by an Italian Risorgimento event. And the conquest of Turkestan is almost complete. We win the great game. Did we get the event? Yep, there we go. 10-year. Wait, what? It said it was going to give us claims on oh, does it require you to have a European country with 3 directly or subject-owned states in India? That must be the problem, isn't it? Oh, wait. Yeah, that's definitely the problem. Hey, well, this modifier isn't terrible. It's just unfortunate we don't get the claims, though. Maybe we should have waited a little bit longer to take India, or we should have tried to colonize here more aggressively. But it is what it is. It's not a huge deal. Apparently, we're importing our own small arms. I'm very approving of this. I think we can probably see this if we look at our market. Wait, how do we actually see who we're importing small arms from? Give me a second. I couldn't figure it out, but it should be basically all of them since we are basically like 99.5% of all guns being exported right now. Oh, now we're 100%. So apparently we can't make peace in this war because these guys want 239,000 pounds from us. So I guess I'm going to quickly invade Naples to try to stop that. We will get a little bit of a penalty actually. So let's, I guess, use a smaller army like this one. He's an expert offensive planner as well. So the penalty that this guy will have will be counteracted by that. Um, so I'm going to put a subvention on the import of guns as well. I'm gonna do high, not max, just because it's like, I don't want to spend like infinite money on this. And the thing with this is it's actually gonna be like gun laundering. We're gonna be like importing our own guns, which is a little bit weird. I think you can theoretically use this to like avoid shortages ever, but the reason we're doing it in this case is because I want it to make it so 25% of our guns are being imported from ourselves. Because if that's the case, then all of these guys we have over here in India can trigger the event where if you're over 25% reliant on imports from a single country for guns and you have no arms industries, you can give the country -5 infamy or something else. It's trade route events.1. Super useful for this. Yes, it still exists in this version, and those are the new requirements. All these subjects could do it in theory, but they are too good relations with us. We could like maybe try to intentionally damage relation to the subject, but that's like a little bit tough. Editing Connor here. I just wanted to explain this event real quick. I have swapped over to Hyderabad and triggered the event. You can see they have two options. I don't know if the AI will ever click the top option. I think it does, but it's more likely for it to click the bottom option since it's the default option if it automatically gets picked. And you can see Russian infamy decreased by 5 and armed forces approval -2. But it doesn't give it's not armed forces theirs, of course. So this is super good for us because if we look here, we have 3.7 infamy, and now we have 0. Of course, this isn't in the real game, but very nice to see this is what's happening. This is going to happen a ton over the next little bit in the game. I think I'm going to start trying to pass multiculturalism. Oh, we really want to get like the PB to be a reformer so that this doesn't have terrible odds. Or we could do something the PB really likes. Like we could exile the leader again or whatever. I'm actually going to start suppressing the Russian supremacist movement. That'll make the law pass a little bit easier. Definitely want this minority rights movement to get more popular, but I don't think it's possible to get an agitator for it. We're out of infamy, so I'm going to start doing annexed country plays on the Central Asian guys. I feel like we shouldn't have been out of infamy yet, so I think we're probably getting some of those events going. I'm going to go quickly look through the footage to see if I'm right on my suspicions there. Okay, yep, looking through the footage, 6 months ago we had 15 infamy almost, so we got the event trigger at least twice. Oh wow, this is so overpowered. I think it's already triggered again. It happened on camera that time. This is insane. Oh no, this is so broken. Wait, I triggered it again? There's no way. What is going on? There's no shot. I'm just gonna sort of be declaring annexed country worlds as quickly as possible on these countries. It's actually ridiculous that we're decaying so much infamy that like this is impossible to not hit 0 infamy with. If it keeps on happening, I will declare a more infamous war. I'm just like not used to being able to generate this much infamy. Looks like our streak of insane luck is over, but we'll see. It's probably still going to be happening like at least once a year, which, is still not too bad. Evil Krakow trying to make my Poles radicals. How dare they? I wonder how many of the pops in these states are actually Poles. Actually, it is still the majority in these states, but hopefully we can change that over time. It's unfortunate that this map mode no longer shows you the religions and you have to do it through this. As I think it used to. Yeah, interesting. Nothing too much has changed yet. We should actually probably start getting pops in Baku. Baku is always important to get pops into because there's a huge amount of oil that can spawn here in the late game. 240 oil rigs. You can see already a ton of spawned. 138. I'm just going to try to spam a ton of railroads here though, because that will let more pops migrate in. Oh, looks like we are getting more of the infamy reduction events because we're back at 0 and we were at like 12, so that means we got like 2 of them. I'm gonna probably stop talking about this, but I'm sure you'll be able to notice this in the background going on. France, puppet acquired. Britain thinks they can just side against me? What do you think you're doing, Britain? Is Canada like actually a good country? With how fast our infamy decay is, this might be a decent take on Canada here. It's 82 million GDP. I mean, like, that's not a terrible pickup. Yeah, what else? Like, what is our other options, really? Other options are, like, to conquer, South Africa here. How much infamy is that, actually? Could we do both? British Hero Land is 4 infamy, and Namaka Land is probably going to be similar. Yeah, 4 infamy as well. So it's gonna add up to slightly over 100, isn't it, with our +7 that we currently have right now. But if we do that, we can completely cut them off from Africa. So I would quite like to do that, but I also kind of want Canada. Maybe I'm just gonna wait till the end of this, and we'll see if we can maybe get infamy decay event from, you know, what's it called, dangerous gunsmiths. If we get that, then we should have enough infamy. Yeah, the math adds up to over 100. So I mean, they would have like a tiny gap here, which we can probably cut them off of. So I'm just gonna conquer Hero Land and transfer Canada, and we're gonna hope it's able to cut them off through the rest. Transfer Canada to Russia. Yes. Okay, good. Brings up to 99.4 infamy, but it's fine. I should actually build a bigger navy for this war. Um, Interesting that you like can't nail invade with a stack bigger than 400 very easily now because you get huge org penalties. That's a kind of interesting consideration, but I'm gonna just spam build some torpedo boats now in order to get naval bases up. And you really can't afford to go over your command limit anymore. Before it was kind of fine, but now it's gonna be terrible if you go over it. I just realized China declared bankruptcy. There's no way that we're gonna get like stopped from doing our subjugation on China because of this unless we can get a couple more dangerous gunsmiths. That's so sad. Or we can like not take some war goals here maybe. We could just not enforce transfer Canada maybe. We're gonna need to enforce like quickly for that though, and I don't know how doable that's gonna be. Well, I think that the only reasonable thing to do right now is, I mean, we could like hope, but I think that the reasonable thing to do is actually to capitulate in this war. The war goals we have here are irrelevant to us. Um, Wait, that refunded only 50 infamy? Well, that's less infamy than I would have hoped for it to refund, but it's just what it is, and I'm gonna go for a protectorate on China now. I like should have thought this through more, but it's fine. Like 50 infamy is not actually a huge deal for us right now, just because infamy is seemingly kind of decaying like at like triple speed or even more right now, so it's kind of fine. Great Ching backed down our diplomatic play. Let's go. Big nice. Can I quickly grant them some states to get them up to yeah, we can grant them Beijing. I actually don't want to grant them Beijing though. We can grant them Tibet. And what else should I grant them? I mean, maybe I should just go annex Yunnan real quick and then get them that. Or we don't have low enough relations to do that yet. I'm just gonna give them Beijing. And with that, China is now a puppet. And that's very nicely done right there. A great Ching. Truly great Ching. Except it's not going to be great for very long. Because as you know, the special when you get China is the instant annexation. It wouldn't be a true China subjugation if you didn't instantly annex all your subjects the second you subjugate China. As they intended, you know, this is clearly the intended way to play the game. I mean, it's probably not, but you know, if you want to get a good GDP, you basically have to do this strat. So I'm gonna do it anyway. Looks like I need to grant them Punjab Hills. Um, Looks like they don't want it. I'm gonna find it in this list. They're gonna be minus 300. Might need to find someone who we have non-poor relations with. What about you? Can we trade state you Punjab Hills? Yes, we can. Okay. Oh, these guys actually aren't splitting up into Beiyang. At least seemingly they aren't. They might at any point, but they aren't yet. I wonder how much infamy. Yeah, it's 5.6 infamy to annex these guys. You know, classic 0 infamy basically. It's gonna go down a little bit more as we give it more stuff. Not by too much, I think. Wait, why can we... Oh, that's also a thing. So we need to go, like, the long way around, maybe? Actually, I'm just gonna give it all to Kashmir now. Okay, so it turns out Kashmir actually isn't gonna work because we have a truce with them, so I'm going to try to do this with Persia now. So before we annex Persia, I just found one of the strangest bugs of all time. If I reduce Russian-American company to a colony, you might think that nothing weird's gonna go on, but let's just wait a day, and you might notice something happened to our Tsar. He's been replaced by the ruler of the Russian-American company for some reason. I have no idea why this happens, but it is happening. I don't know if this is going to be in on the release version, but it's kind of funny, and it's going to save us a tiny bit of infamy here, I guess. Oh, we need to declare neutrality in this play, and then we can annex Persia. Yeah, they changed it so you need to now declare neutrality in plays. Let's grant these guys some more states so they have a higher chance of accepting. Uzbekia, okay. That's good enough. 50-50. Nope, okay. Well, unfortunate. We'll have to beat them normally. Alright, since these guys are PB, I should swap to having PB as the government. Anti-British Association has been disbanded because they're all marginalized, okay? Nice. Okay. And Persia is now a part of the great Russian Empire. Time to start incorporating all these new states. It's gonna be very nice for our country. 872 million GDP. We need to start skyrocketing that soon. But once these states incorporate, that should be fairly doable. We just need to get them incorporated. Which, our bureaucracy situation is not very good right now. Or actually, we should not be building these in these states, really, because the state construction efficiency is awful. But I'm going to start building a bunch of construction sectors over here in Europe, and that should hopefully get us out of a 45,000 bureaucracy deficit. Also, swapping up the government administration PM will do something. Yeah, let's do that real quick. Didn't do much, but this should do much. It's not quite enough, I think, but it will be close. Get the ruler of the East complete. We'll take the industrialist support, I guess. Oh, power plant electricity numbers are nerfed, but maybe the recipe to make them is better? Oh, they only employ 1,000 people. Okay, so they're gonna be much more productive now. I see, okay. That's good. Yeah, power plants are gonna be much better now, I think. Okay. Government administration's been built up, so our debt problem is not so bad anymore. The next goal is to try to get on multiculturalism. Success chance on that looks pretty bad right now. Minority rights movement is going up in support. Oops, got the game frozen right now. Give me a second. I'm going to bolster the Han National Movement. It seems like the game really doesn't like looking in this menu, so I'm going to just avoid looking in that menu for now. Okay, I'm just going to start trying to pass multiculturalism. I think it's going to be pretty good. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to temporarily replace colonial offices with Creative Legislature 1, which makes the stall chance on this a little bit less bad. Just realized I ran out of infamy. Kind of unfortunate, but I am going to do a quick little annex play on Yunnan, even though we don't have colonial offices right now. I'm only going to lose just a couple of infamy. There's 149 people in Kafiristan, and 100% of them are literate. That's crazy. So, they're all unemployed for some reason. Why are they all unemployed? That's so weird. Huh. Okay, multiculturalism is pretty close to passing, so I'm now going to just swap back to colonial offices for an invasion of UA. Oh, wait, I don't actually have the ability to annex country? Oh, they are a regional power. Okay, well, I'm going to just declare a conquest war goal against each of their states then. We can use return CBs from China. Let's not do that because I do want to take these directly. And I guess I'll primary them just because I would kind of be mad if they back down to this. Now, it says like Spain is kind of likely to intervene. I kind of doubt they will because our army is just so big that the Spanish would have to be insanely overconfident to think they can have a chance in that. France on their border would quadruple their GDP, although not as nearly big as army though. Oh, I actually did side in. Kind of surprising. Could go for like a treaty port on Spain or something. That would be kind of funny. It wouldn't really be that useful, but it's only like 7 infamy, so maybe we go for a treaty port. I mean, like, surely there's like actually no use to this. Yeah, let's not do that. There's like no point. It's kind of annoying that war ups is like infamy now because there's like no reason you get like no benefit from countries running against you anymore. Well, ever since we got off of creative legislature, the passing of multiculturalism has not been going very well. I really need to hope for either a good advance here or a stall that reduces success chance so we can get the success chance to reset because we've got minus 40% right now, which is not very good. Yeah, we got a stall that's gonna reset success chance. It's also gonna give us another setback though, which is a little risky, but there's nothing we can really do to mitigate the risk. So actually there is one thing we can try to do Because stall chance, yeah, PB is already max mad. So, I can take them out of government. And it's too similar to ideology of ruler. Can we grant leadership? No. Dang. That's unfortunate this is too similar to ideology, because I would love to exile these guys and get a reformer. Could we get the rural folk to not be mad? Not really. Okay, I'm spending too much on subventions. I need to reduce the subventions a bit. Yeah, now we're spending a little bit less, so I don't need to go bankrupt. You know, we're spending a little bit of money right now, but it's fine. Multiculturalism is through. Very nice to see. Unfortunately, the Ottomans are still an unrecognized major. Because unfortunately, what happened to the Ottoman GDP? That they got invested in by the British. That's crazy. Our SOL could just be like 15. We could have like 2.7% pop growth. But unfortunately, our SOL in our main states is just way too high. So we have terrible pop growth. It's really unfortunate that they changed the pop growth formula. Because otherwise our pop growth, or they changed like the SOL thresholds. Because otherwise our country would be doing quite a bit better, I think. Like, if we look at a 15 SOL pop, I wonder, like, how good is their pop growth right now? Or actually, I think 10 might be best for us right now. But let's take a look at this pop. It's actually 2.7. That's pretty surprising that our average in the state is 2.7, given that's 2.7. Is 10 SOL, like, way better? Oh, yeah, 10 SOL is 3.2% pop growth a year. That's insane. I'm gonna give the Confederate some stuff, and my goal is to get the what's it called? So much money I can give them, like 200,000, but let's just give them like 3,500 or something. No, we need a little bit more, like 4,000 or so. Should be enough to get us the acceptance on this treaty. But I do want to just go census suffrage here, and using the law commitments is something I'm not really used to doing, but it's really good for getting success chance. I didn't do it for multiculturalism because there's like no countries in the world that can pass it, so you can't get an easy law commitment on it. Oh, I should remove these bolsters and suppresses. They are just wasting my authority. Is there any good consumption taxes we could use here? I'm going to consumption tax groceries. That'll help solve the deficit, and it will increase POP's costs quite a bit, which will make SOL go down, which of course is one of my goals right now. Let's see if we can maybe push SOL down. Yeah, we can push SOL down by 1 here. Not too much, but it's always good to try to push SOL down. Well, not always, but in this case, we do really want to try to push SOL down. This is kind of a really weird gameplay loop to be in, where you're trying to push SOL down. Very unnormal. Apparently we're getting some mass migrations in Siberia. I think, yeah, we got plus 200% migration attraction on these provinces right now, so that's why that's happening. In like 6 months, stop getting mass migrations into Siberia, and if we get mass migrations again, they'll probably start going into like Kharkov and stuff, because that's where our real mass migration attraction is. Getting some pops in here is, I guess, a little nice. There is some decent resources in these states, actually, although like the real good resources are in like Chelyabinsk and stuff. Chelyabinsk is a really good state. It's got tons of iron, and it has some oil that can spawn there too. I removed some consumption taxes so I can start suppressing the fascist movement, because yeah, it's gonna get to 100 activism, because apparently we have claims on something. I don't know what we have claims on that we don't have, but it's not very good. What nonsense happened in China? I'm a little confused about what's going on here. I guess I'm gonna fight these guys. I'm a little confused though. Since when do we have a grain company? I'm disbanding that. Um, anyway, I want to go for the oil company. Where is that gonna be? It's at like the top of the companies that we can establish, or bottom, I mean. I'm gonna go with this oil company. I thought there was a Baku oil company, but I looked through all the list of companies. That's why I have these all expanded, and I couldn't find it. So I'm not sure where the Baku oil company is. Maybe they removed it. I don't know. I just found it. What? How? Well, I'm going to establish it, and we will just have to wait 5 years to disband the other one. It's fine. I'll give this a monopoly on oil rigs. Oh, this can get power plants as well? What can get generic or whatever this one is? This can get power plants or railways. Interesting. Oh, we've unlocked the combustion engine. I think that's now separated into a new plant. Yeah, automotive industries. We should maybe try to build some of these. and see how that goes. We really need to start getting incorporation on the stuff over there in South and East Asia, because the minus 33% state construction efficiency basically means you just can't build there, which is pretty unfortunate. I'm gonna try to build a ton of these, though, in whatever states have a decent amount of peasants, which I mean is really basically none of our states at this point, but they'll probably get employed up anyway. Yeah, it's tough to get peasants now. Hopefully pops will start migrating from China. I'm not actually sure like how many pops are migrating from China, but you'd think there'd be some. Looks like there isn't that many, but we'll see. My next war target, Canada. I'm also going to add in some more war goals. It's kind of likely the British are going to back down to this play, I think. I didn't mean to liberate Sri Lanka, but sure. Yeah, the British should like be pretty scared of this play, I think, because we're liberating like a huge portion of their country, and I have a huge navy now, so like they're not going to defend against this or anything. So I kind of expect to back down. We'll see. Oh, the British actually didn't back down to this play. Should probably do a naval invasion on them into the Highlands or something. Or no, maybe let's go East Anglia. I'm gonna be try to close to the capital. Could actually try to go into this French one maybe, but I'm not sure how that would work. Like, can we assign our navy to it? I don't know. Let's see how this goes. Got a pretty big army, so I do imagine that we should be able to get in. Let's see. Don't have that much shrapnel. Or we have 90 shrapnel. That should be enough, right? Yep, we're winning the battles. The Russian Constitution, we love to see it. Very nice. Should really start trying to go women's suffrage soon, I think. POV, the fascist movement is taking like your entire country. Luckily, it's not trending towards 100 activism anymore, so that's good. Um, so what do we want to try to pass next? Probably like a republic law. Does that make the fascists even matter? It probably does. No, they don't care about that. Okay. So we should be able to try to go on to a republic or something fairly easily. Except that the stall chance on that is terrible, because PB hate it. We're only getting two parties, rural folk and intelligentsia. This is a little strange. Let's get the full Trudovic group so that we can get that as a good party, because I think that's probably going to be the best party. Yes, now going to win like 75% of the vote, which is good. I guess we could start fake passing something that the fascist movement likes. I don't know, autocracy, I guess. Something to make the fascist movement stop being big mad, so that we can get like the PB and stuff into government once this election is over. How illegitimate will this be? Let's take a look. Looks like it might be fine actually. Yeah. Somehow we only have 25% landing progress. Is every time this is failing somehow reducing our landing progress here? Seriously? Is that what's happening? Because I feel like we're winning like every battle I see here. Although we've got like too many troops now, so I should like disband some of these so that we stop. Oh, I can't because we've got brewing revolutions. But if we didn't have brewing revolutions, then can we please have no brewing revolutions for just a second so I can disband some conscripts here? Yes, we can't. Nope, we don't. Okay. Well, unfortunate, but we are winning all these battles, so I don't know why our landing progress is not going to 100. Strike. Start negotiations. We have to pass a law. What? Does it like not tell me what we have to pass? Huh? Okay, well I guess we'll figure that out soon. It'll probably give us a new event to decide. Surely. Okay, we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully something's gonna happen with that. Well, they want wage subsidies, which I guess I have to give them. Don't really want to give it to them, but I kind of have to, or else I'm gonna get strikes, which are not ideal. I just deoccupied the Venezuelan capital right in time. We're getting way too close to capitulating. Not good. I'm gonna try my best to do this front done now. The front in the British Isles is looking like it's going actually pretty good. Do you actually just want to, yeah, not push on the naval invasion? And it should be fine. Okay, wage subsidies passed. We'll get our strike bonus, get 20% labor and machinist loyalists, which is super nice. How much loyal, is that actually like none? No, okay, it should be a huge spike. What? Oh, we just like need to get a Monday tick probably for this graph to update. Yep, there we go. Pretty significant drop in radicalism. Should be nice for turmoil. Get the good old intelligent or trade unions happy powerful. I do want to try to go women's suffrage now, I think, because the workforce ratio is going to be pretty good. Get the anarchy thing for India. Gives 5% low strata radicals. Not what we want to see, but there isn't really much we can do about it. I guess we actually could have done the other option because India's small. I guess it wouldn't have actually been a problem. I don't think it releases all of our stuff in India. I don't actually know about that. But we should be occupying. Yeah, we occupied England finally. Took a while, but we can finally get this war over. We'll just not humiliate, I guess. This should be a huge. Wait, what? What happened? Why did it not liberate Ireland and stuff? Did they liberate Wargles? No, it worked against China. What? That's confusing. Yeah, I'm not sure why the stuff didn't get liberated from Great Britain. It's not a huge deal, but I don't know. Well, Sunni rights movement kind of stopping us from passing women's suffrage. Very unfortunate. This movement's kind of crazy. It has 1% support, but it's civil warring with like half the country. That doesn't seem very reasonable to me. Bruh. I clicked an event earlier where I'd either get 14 infamy or give the British a claim on this, and now they want the whole state of Equatoria or we take 14 infamy. Well, that's annoying because this doesn't even revoke their claim if I click this, so they're just going to request this in the future, aren't they? I'm going to say this 14 infamy. So, since the Ottomans are like super high GDP and they're not really dropping out of unrecognized major, I do kind of want to take some territory from them. I guess I need to go declare neutrality in these plays before I can declare war on them, but yeah, I think that I'm just going to try to take some stuff from the Ottomans here, conquer their capital, liberate Iraq. I don't really want to liberate Bulgaria since that would be recognized, and I guess I'll just conquer a couple more states. I'm going to look for whichever ones are the highest GDPs, like Huda Vendigar, 4.2 million GDP is quite a lot. I probably don't want to primary that. Do maybe go for like one more. It's a good high GDP state. Trabzon, maybe, is actually like the best one I can see. So I guess I'll go for Conquest of Trabzon. Yeah, that looks like the highest GDP one. And then I don't want to add too much more because they might back down. Actually, I'm going to go for one more because I don't think this is going to be enough to make them like protectorable or whatever. But one more might be enough. Okay, time to disband the second oil company. Now what do we want to do as our final company? Or we might actually get one more from macroeconomics. Yeah, we can get one more from macro. But until macro, this will be our final company. I don't really like any of the company options right now, so I think I'm actually just going to wait and see. Like, we could establish the furniture company, but I like really want SOL to be low, so I don't think that's going to be very good. I did a conquer state play on Sind, and somehow they back down and still exist in Sind. I'm a little confused, but okay. Is this some sort of thing where backing down will never annex you anymore? I don't know. I'm just gonna like slowly clean up South Asia here. Finally past dedicated police force. Oh, we can also peace out with the Ottomans. Okay, nice. That should significantly weaken them. And the market's now cut in two, so I assume that makes... Nope, they actually have enough ports to do that apparently. Or almost enough ports. I'm going to start leveling up law enforcement to get that minus state penalties from turmoil, because we've got a lot of turmoil over here in India and stuff. And unfortunately, we haven't managed to get an easy civil war to try to get rid of that with. I'm going to try to trigger the feminist movement real quick. Yeah, that makes them a little bit more mad. And now I can just go women's suffrage and hopefully be good. We'll see. I'm going to invade Egypt. It says Belgium might get involved. If they do, that would be pretty nice. I'm just going to conquer Upper Egypt as well. And if Belgium doesn't get involved, maybe Middle Egypt. The reason I want to conquer stuff from Belgium is France has claims on it. So that's, you know, like 30 million GDP or something we can add to France. Okay, Belgium has made the mistake of joining the war. So that means return Wallonia, return Flanders, and I'll primary this so that Egypt doesn't back down. Okay, UK's involved, but it's fine. We will win this anyway. Conscript, go on the Belgium front, and we can bring a couple more troops over to this front against Egypt. I'm actually going to go swap onto Advanced Research 2 real quick, just so we can finish up Compression Ignition. Then I'll go back to Companies 1, because they're actually, like, Companies 1 has the big company bonus I want, so, like, we don't lose out on too much, just trying to get rid of that ahead of time penalty a little bit there. And this is going to be super nice. This will mean we can actually use our oil. We have a ton of oil, but we don't really have demand for it right now. This will finally let us have a ton of demand. Plastics will also increase demand a ton. Yeah, okay, now we got advanced research. We got the tech, so now I'm going to go back to companies 1. Or wait, we can't swap it actually for a couple months. Never mind, we can't do it quite this fast, but soon enough, I will go back to companies. Anyway, the great swap onto compressed ignition begins, starting with all the mines in the country. Yep, there we go. I should also swap these all up into dynamite, actually. That would be good. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a good little upgrade. Do we have these on the highest thing that doesn't use electricity? Yeah, we do. Engines, we can make more engines. We can also go on diesel trains. And with that, we managed to go up like 200 million GDP or something, which is pretty solid. I assume, yeah, the oil state jumped like 4x in GDP because of that, and now, yeah, oil prices are now at plus 75%, which is pretty good. Just a casual plus 2.4 million positive balance. Love to see it. I am just going to spam every single oil rig that I can build in the country now. Okay, I've now built every single potential oil rig. Apparently that's like 11 months of construction. I also built them all in the subjects. It's 167 pages of construction. Very nice. I think this is the highest productivity I've ever seen on a company that isn't just like zero employment. 936 productivity is crazy to the point where it can pay, 100 wages and it still has a power balance of 1.3 million. Okay, Lil Pop, it has like a way more levels and its positive balance is only 1.7 million and it's paying 2.7 million in wages for the financial district company headquarter. It's the #1 company headquarter in the world. Very nice. Okay, can finally make peace. Take in Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt. Make Egypt significantly weaker now. Also, the Ottomans are an unrecognized regional, so we will be able to take them out pretty easy. I should probably go for like these countries. They're kind of ugly right now. A little spot in like South Persia, North India. The game is so laggy. We got 64 million unemployed people because of China. Once these finish incorporating, we'll be able to do quite a bit. Well, oil prices are back to being pretty low. I wonder how that's affected the GDP of Baku. It was like pretty high, I think. Yeah, it was much higher than this before, I think, but it's still very good. Like 15 GDP per capita in Baku. I wonder what our GDP per capita in like our normal states is right now. Like, what, it's like 7.5? That's pretty decent. And there's just an upgraded automobile production PM. Okay, we'll turn that on. Bolt action rifles. I'm not going to do that because it costs kind of oil. I don't really want to spend my oil on that. I could do upgraded fertilizer, but what I do want to do is the upgraded glass PM. Houseware plastics. Easy glass. Glass is going to be super cheap. I wonder how that affects oil prices. We definitely like don't want to do so much oil taking stuff that once we get a huge GDP, we're gonna have to like downsize how much oil we're using. Yeah, oil prices are a little high right now, but it's kind of fine. They nerfed chemical fertilizers, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it used to be this small of an upgrade, but it's okay. It's just way less food. Who needs food anyway? Do I need plus 5% prestige when I already have 15,000, or do I want 20 legitimacy? I don't know why you would, like, ever take the 5% prestige. It's, like, none anyway, even if you don't have a lot. I guess if it, like, would give you a power rank, but how would you be doing that in, like, this late in the game? I don't know. Um, we're gonna be getting women's suffrage soon, hopefully. Oh, we're out of infamy. I should probably declare more wars. Or bigger wars, so that I don't run out of infamy while declaring them. Okay, got women's suffrage. Pretty nice. We could like go graduate at tax here, but that would give us way less money, and we want to keep people's SOL down right now, so it's kind of a bit of a problem to try to keep people's SOL down. Maybe we try to go parliamentary republic. The odds on it don't look too bad, actually. Is there a way we could get like a Republican in charge of the PB or something? No, not through that. What about through like an agitator? Is there a Republican PB we could invite? Looks like the answer to that is no. Well, the odds on this still aren't too bad, so we'll give it a shot. I'm gonna annex Siam, and I guess I'll annex your subjects as well. You can, I guess, back down to avoid this, but I don't think you will. And yep, that's that. Nice. Okay, royalist movement is a little bit too big, I think. Yeah, this is a little too big, so I'm gonna just give up on passing parliamentary. Russia just sent me this deal. I'm surprised how much they want automobiles. I don't think I'm gonna be accepting this deal, but it's very much surprising that they have 57 wanting of this just because like their price for automobiles is super high and stuff. Interesting. First election. Oh, the first women's suffrage election. Nice. Hopefully the trade unions can win 100% of the vote. Obviously not 100%, but they'll win quite a bit. 44% is pretty good. Apparently I have no coal company, so I'm actually going to grant the Russian American company an industry rights charter on coal. Because having a company for coal will be pretty good, I guess. What I really need is a company for rubber. Actually, we should turn back on companies 3. That should give us company slot. I don't know why we keep getting the new order achievement, but I'm going to slot in a rubber company because I kind of like really need rubber. I wonder what this industry charter is. Oh, yes, tools, right? Unless they changed it since I last looked. Well, the game doesn't want to tell us, I guess. Yeah, it's tools. The Ottoman Empire backed down to my protectorate play. Big nice. Should start improving relations with them so that they don't gain infinite liberty desire, probably. I could also, like, start using the subjugate feature on my power block. That would probably be good. So you can actually, like, subjugate all the members at some point. Probably gonna be going pretty late to this game. It's already 1911, at 3.8 billion GDP, which, it's fairly good. Definitely, if we could have annexed China earlier, we could definitely have gotten significantly higher by this point. But I think we're about to get into a GDP explosion because the China stuff and stuff, yeah, it's about to incorporate in like 15 months, which, is pretty far away, but relative to 20 years, it's not very far away. Oh, the British are siding against me here. Unbelievable. Um, I guess I'll return Newfoundland, return Northern Cape, and we'll also transfer Cape Colony, transfer British Congo or British yeah, let's go for British Congo and British East Africa actually because they're both super low infamy. British Senegal, I don't think we go for that. We just want the rubber stuff, and that's mostly down here. I think that's good. Yeah, that's all of our maneuvers actually. Okay. Oh, the stuff is finally incorporated. I've got tons of stuff in the queue right now. It's gonna start building much faster now that we don't have like minus 40% state construction efficiency. Going construction mandate might have actually made some sense so we could build here that it being so bad. I don't know. I'm just gonna like spam like a ton of construction sectors because I think it'll be fine. We'll see. You can get so much construction. No one's ever had this much construction except for everyone who's had this much construction, but we can just ignore those people because they aren't really real. We're gonna probably get like 10 billion GDP nearly this run. We'll see what we can get. The stupid British are defeating my fleet just because I didn't have enough admirals on it. This is so annoying. I kind of hate the new org changes. I'm gonna try naval division to Yorkshire so that we don't have to deal with a navy. Also, I'm going to start building like an absurd amount of stuff in my queue for over here in China. Well, actually, first I need to build more construction sectors, I think. But then I'm going to start building a ridiculous amount of things over here in China just to try to employ up all the pops here. We have like a 1.2% pop growth. Mostly just because we have 100 million unemployed people to employ. If we can employ those people, our pop growth will go to the moon. Looks like we did manage to land in the UK, so that's good. Definitely would have liked to land in the south, but org just means we couldn't really defeat their 52 navy, which is kind of crazy. I should probably set a strategic objective on London so we stop pushing north. Fun fact, Victoria 3 runs slowly when you have 38,000 construction. Who could have seen this coming? I don't know, not me. So, the war with Britain just ended. For some reason, I didn't get British Congo as a subject. There's some sort of bug going on. That's very bad. I should report this. I definitely need to report this. I'm going to remove the monopoly on iron mines because iron prices are a little high. That should fix iron prices. Then I'm going to go back to just kind of building, I think steel is probably decent. Maybe tools. I don't know. Kind of not really sure exactly what to build right now. Just trying to build some stuff. Demand is kind of getting low, so old age pension might be decent, but I don't really want to get that extra SOL that comes with. But maybe I just kind of have to accept the SOL because we need more demand, and I don't want to build 50,000 construction because microing 38,000 construction is already taking forever. Yeah, I'm just going to go old age pension so we can get the demand. It does reduce workforce ratio, and it's going to give more SOL, which is kind of bad for pop growth, but just gotta accept it at this point. Classic France becoming fascist. This is truly a classic France moment. Gotta go quell the rebellion in France. Old age pension is finally passed. That'll mean more workforce, or normally more money in the economy now. What extra company got added? What? Huh? I didn't think I was over the company limit. I know I got this company from annexing something, but huh? I'm confused how I'm over the company limit. Oh, Suez Canal Company is not prosperous. Okay, well, I'm gonna disband Plantation Company, I guess. What's the penalties? It's gonna be pretty bad, isn't it? Yeah, the throughput bonus gets cut down a lot, so I'm gonna disband a company. 7 million on welfare is kind of crazy. But, yeah, it's actually, like, kind of bad for us to be spending so much on welfare, but it's fine. How's this welfare impacting these pops? Like, how much of these wealth is coming from welfare? 15K out of that's a pretty significant fraction of these pops' incomes. It's like some of these pops are gaining huge amounts of SOL, at least that pop is. Hopefully a bunch of pops in our economy are gaining lots of SOL. That would be good for consumer demand. We're at 6 billion GDP now. Okay, looks like this pop isn't. But hopefully some pops are. We get 20 SOL, that's pretty good. Our balance is going to start going mega negative once we get to Social Security 5, because we're only paying 40% welfare payments right now. 2.34 million government income and government dividends is crazy. Our economy is so big. This is the biggest economy I've ever had, except for my Turtle Island 100 billion run. I actually wonder what I had before I did the market isolation in that. I wonder if that's potentially beatable. I don't think so, but let me take a look at that. Looks like it was at like 10.7 billion, so that's probably not beatable, but I wonder if we can maybe get to 10 billion. Seems kind of tough. Yeah, we only have a little bit more people to employ, so we're not going to make it to 10 billion unless you were to wait for dependents to increase. But I'm not doing that, I think. I think once we get welfare up to 5 and maybe try to do like a blitz of increasing GDP with lowering taxes, I'm probably going to be done. I do need to try to finish off Asia. Transferring Japan could be a decent thing to go for. America just has like a 10% chance of just accepting. Maybe they will. Okay, they don't. We could just conquer New York here. That could be nice. Does New York have like a decent amount of GDP? Probably not. It's the AI. Yeah, it's only got 18 million. Penn has 33 million, so that's actually pretty good. But I don't know if it's worth conquering. How much infamy is it to conquer a state like New York? Take a look here. New York. Oh, do I not have an interest in New York? No, I do. Why am I not finding it? Because I'm blind, probably. There it is. It's only 19 infamy. Do we still have our cautious guy? We do. I think I'm going to go for conquer New York. We'll see if they back down. I'll liberate New England to make them less likely to back down, I guess. And I guess since Penn was a good state too, we'll take Penn. Assuming that I have an interest in it, which I should. Yeah, there's Penn. Wait, why is Penn more infamy? No, it's not, right? I don't know. I'm gonna conquer Penn as well. Okay, USA backs down in the play, giving us Japan. I love it. 92 million GDP, which transferred to us. Our block. Oh, we could actually make our block beat the Turtle Island run. I think that's a decent goal. 10 billion GDP and block GDP over the Turtle Island run. Well, before the market isolation, of course. They said we're beating 100 billion. Well, I think it's time to start losing a huge amount of money so that we can inflate our economy. Medium taxes. We're only losing 16 million a week, which actually is like so fine that we can probably hold this for like a decade or something. Like we're probably just kind of fine at medium taxes. I know that like, negative 18 million is not normally the kind of a deficit that you'd want to see, but when you have an economy of 7.5 billion, it's kind of fine. What's our credit limit? Yeah, 5.8 billion. 8 billion GDP is reached. We're getting like 200 billion GDP a tick at this rate because people are SOL jumping, but I think that that's probably going to stop this tick. We'll see. Yeah, that tick did not jump us up much in GDP. Alright, total GDP of the block is nearly sitting at 10 billion. Japan has really climbed up recently. The Japanese GDP graph be like, the second they join the block, oops, I'm going to the moon. This is the power of Russian investment into your country. Oops, my negative balance is only 13 million. What is this nonsense? Going to minimum taxes. You gotta get All the GDP! It must be acquired. 9.7 billion GDP in the block so far. We got Egypt in it too, I think now. Yeah, we got a connection down to Africa without using ports now. So now most of our port connections are probably to France, a little bit to South America as well. But yeah, France is doing pretty good. Oh wow, their GDP started exploding again recently. 6 GDP per capita, nearly as high of a GDP per capita as us. What are we at? Probably like just a bit higher actually. I don't know. Oh, game's lagging. So what? Our GDP just skyrocketed to 8.5 billion, 6.84 GDP per capita, but 8.5 billion is crazy, bro. This GDP is going insane. 10.2 billion GDP in the block is crazy. Kind of funny how negative their acceptance would be on giving us 450,000 pounds. Negative 120, no, negative 12,000 acceptance is crazy. I'm gonna try to subvent the import of rubber because we need a lot of rubber. I know that no one has the rubber in the world, but I'm kind of hoping our trade centers will start selling rubber to ourselves effectively. Rubber laundering is what we call this now. You gotta love creating money laundering in Victoria 3. Rayon. Nice. I should actually turn on radios, maybe? Yeah, it costs electricity, but that's fine. And then I'm going to try to turn on the electricity PM as well. I really want to try to get my GDP up as high as possible. A bit tricky to get to like 10 billion if you really start running out of resources at this point. I know it's possible to get to like 30 billion without like market isolating, but it's insanely difficult when you aren't doing a world conquest to get to 10 billion seemingly. Apparently there's a 1-year-old in charge of Russia now. The evil British think they can join against me. Crucial States is gonna get conquered in this play now. You think you can just join against me in a play and be fine? No. Yeah. Okay, Russia conquers it. Now what else do I want? Maybe Ceylon would be good. And, we can take Australia too. That sounds good. Yeah. Mobilize the army. Get ready for the great landing of Britain. As always, Britain doesn't stand a chance against Russia. We have 8 billion GDP. Britain does not have 8 billion GDP. They have 280 million GDP, which is not 8 billion. I think the swap to radios might be kind of bad. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm gonna swap back to normal electric industries, except for maybe Shaanxi. I'll keep on this one. Because, yeah, the telephone shortage is a little bit bad for our economy, I think. GDP is sort of staying between 8.5 and 8.7 billion right now. Definitely would like it to go a bit above that, so we can get to maybe like 10 billion, but maybe that's just not doable. 10 billion seems like a little bit of a tough goal right now. Okay, peace with the British, or no, not British. Chinese is about to be done with the war, but for Britain, we're gonna be a little bit longer. Almost should be in London in a second here. Like France has an unopposed naval invasion, and we are just in East Anglia. Well, the war with Britain is over. We got Australia, which is nice. Our GDP is not quite at the level I'd want, but if we annex some subjects, we can almost get to 10 billion, I think. So that's probably going to be the next goal. Looks like we have a small little civil war to deal with. GDP has been very stagnant at the high 8 billions recently, so probably going to be ending the run soon. I think it's time for a bit of an annexation on the Americas and France. Or not, yeah, and France. Gonna grant some stuff over to France from our subjects over here, and then I'm going to annex France. Unfortunately, they're not being very nice to us, and they're not, just becoming loyal again. It's so mean. How dare they? Oh, we can give them Australia too? How much of Australia's GDP is outside of New South Wales? 9 million? That's nothing. Just gotta get up to, 10 billion GDP. Or wait, no, that was 9 billion in New South Wales, I assume. I assume I misread that, right? I probably did. Anyway, I'm gonna grant all of the subject states that I can reach with France to France. Infamy, so I need to wait like 2 years to infamy decay. So I just realized what I can do. I was just like, we need to do this probably, or else we're gonna be nearly bankrupt. I can grant France to the Russian Senegal because this is actually a formerly French colony. and then we can grant this back to France, and then that will make them have much more unincorporated states, which will then mean that we should be in a better position to be able to annex them. We'll see. We need to grant like 200 million GDP worth of states probably, and then it should be enough. Yeah, something like that. Maybe just to be safe, I'll grant one more state, and then I'll grant these all back to France. Okay, time to annex France. And there they go. No more France. Now I'm going to grant Egypt some states, specifically Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt, and some states from the Ottoman Empire. And now I can reduce autonomy. I'm going to grant them more states so that Ottomans have more unincorporated state penalty. And then we're going to go for an annexation on the Ottoman Empire, and that's going to be very nice. I just granted Egypt to the Ottoman Empire, reduced autonomy and stuff. I need them to accept annexation. Yes, very nice. Now I'm going to grant stuff. Oh, I need to grant, yeah, okay, Congo, and then like, Ecuador or something. Whatever. You can get them to 0 liberty desire. Come on. Okay, unfortunately they're not loyal, but it's 42% acceptance. So I actually like can't let France have this stuff, I realize, because they're going to create a colony or a colonial country here, which is going to be evil if they create a colonial country. That's gonna make it go independent because stuff like the British got the same thing happening to them here, seemingly. You know, I don't know what happened here. Maybe it's secession because they couldn't reach it. Probably actually. But anyway, oh wait, yeah, I forgot I swapped some stuff over here. I'm gonna give all this to French or Russian Senegal real quick, so we can reduce their liberty desire again, and then we should be good. Okay, annex France. Yep, there we go. The reason I'm save scumming this, by the way, is originally I'd done France first, then I was gonna annex the Ottomans, but the problem was, oh, I forgot Western Thrace, but it shouldn't matter. But the problem is my game was consistently crashing on like January the 23rd when I was fighting the Ottomans. We're now on February, so the crash has somehow been avoided seemingly by dodging the Ottoman War. But that's why we're doing this weirdly. Unfortunately, our GDP isn't quite high enough, but it should be able to get high enough if we just take a little bit. Because that is my experience. I had like 9.8 million or 9.8 billion without the Ottoman territories, and the Ottoman territories are like 150 billion more. So it should be enough easily, I'd think. Oh, I do need to fill the construction queue. That's going to be a reason for my problems. Okay, I will just fill it with some nonsense, like I guess like 1,000 universities. Okay, I set up like 1,000 universities. They should be enough to get us to 10 billion GDP, please. Yes, 10.06 billion GDP acquired, and the GDP of our block is larger than what I had in the Turtle Island run before I market isolated, I'm pretty sure. So that is a very solid run. Of course, this balance isn't quite runnable, but we could have similar GDP-ish if we just ran like high taxes and our economy would be kind of fine. We got 1.4 billion people. We got a ton of unemployed people. The reason we have so few peasants is because we actually have like tons of the arable land used. There's very, very little unused arable land in our country. Well, I guess we can have a quick little look around at our empire and see a couple of interesting things before we end off the run. The Turks have taken over Akmolinsk. Han have taken over Ural. Kind of surprising there isn't more Han takeover. Uzbek in Grodno is probably the most surprising thing. Uzbek is not a very large culture, so for to take over some random province is a little interesting. I guess there actually is a surprising amount of Uzbek people, but not really that many. It's like a sixth of the Uzbek population lives in Grodno for some reason. We can take a look at a heat map of Han people. Looks like there's actually no Han people in like all of Ukraine, which is interesting. Oh yeah, there's one thing I wanted to show, which is the SOL in Warsaw is 34.2. It was 34.4 when I last checked. That's because there's 12,000 levels of Milpop Rowie Lowenstein here, which are employing 3 million pops, which is quite a lot, and it's a very productive company as well. I wonder what the SOL in Baku is actually. Oh, Baku has 36.5. That's kind of crazy. because Baku has, these oil rigs that have 36.5, and it's got some other stuff that has lower. There's also got Barnabel, which has 60 SOL. So yeah, I think those are our two highest SOL states. I guess we can actually look through the standard of living thing here. Oh, Nejd is our highest SOL state. I guess like literally everyone here is going to be working in the oil rigs. Yeah, pretty much everywhere, and I think. Interesting. Is there anything else that's high? Arakan is high. Oh, this has the Hudson Bay Company. Why do we have the Hudson Bay Company in our country? I don't know. That's what? The Hudson Bay Company has moved to Arakan. Okay, that doesn't make much sense. What in the world? This is how our pop graph looks like. We're only getting like 8 million pops a year at this point because SL is super high, is lowering pop growth a lot, and because we like have a ton of unemployment, which of course lowers pop growth as well. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else I wanted to show off here. Yeah, I think this should be good. Oh yeah, I guess I can show tech. We got quite a bit of the tech tree, not everything though, because advanced research we didn't pick this game. So like we have pretty low mil tech. Got like all the important society techs though. Yeah, I think that's everything. So, goodbye.